Hi, and welcome back to another episode of A Closer Look. I'm Alice Stewart with the Mount Ascutney Prevention Partnership. I'm here today with my colleague, Courtney Hillhouse, and Claire Swanson, a local documentary filmmaker. We're here to talk about Community Connections, the LGBTQ Perspectives Project. So, Courtney, let's start with you. How did this project come about? What was the driving force behind it?
It really came about through conversations with different people in the towns where we work. A person who was doing programming for kids and teens highlighted some concerns around how to support gay and trans kids. And an active community member who volunteers with different groups had some questions about pronouns, what to say, what not to say, what different terms mean, kind of that sort of thing. One of our librarian partners also encouraged us to think about how to offer the training to the general public. So a video series seemed like a good way to get information out to a broad audience.
And Claire, how did you get involved in the project?
So I got involved because I've worked with the Mount Ascutney Prevention Partnership before on a previous documentary project. It was related to asset development in early childhood. So I interviewed a bunch of families about what they liked to do over the summer as a family. And I made a little video project out of it for the Mount Ascutney Prevention Partnership and some other Windsor area organizations. And so I also was really interested in being involved in this project because I myself am a queer young adult, and I grew up in the Upper Valley, specifically Thetford. And so I was really interested in doing something that could benefit queer youth because I was a queer youth myself in the same area.
So, Courtney, I understand that Davey Schlasko from Think Again Training and Consulting was also involved in this project. How did he get involved?
Well, we had worked with Davey before on some projects around community engagement and also training for librarians and third space providers on providing supportive environments for LGBTQ plus kids and youth. And third spaces are where any places outside of the home or school where kids spend time, like rec centers, art and theater programs, things along those lines.
And so, Claire, what was the process that you and Davey went through to pull this project together?
So Davey and we recruited interviewees together. He actually did most of the work on that because he knows a lot of really great people. Primarily the people who were interviewed in this project were people who are part of the LGBTQ community themselves and who also work with youth. And most of the interviewees had some connection to Vermont or experience living in a rural area. A few did not, but that was the experience of the majority of the interviewees, so they could really speak to the experience of queer youth in this area. And we also drafted a script for the questions that we wanted to ask people, but we also ended up having some conversations in the interviews that weren't exactly what we scripted, which was great because I feel like all these interviewees brought something really unique and essential to this project. And I'm not just saying that. I feel like it wouldn't have been the same and it wouldn't have been complete if any single one of the people we interviewed were missing. They were all really essential to the project and they all brought really different and really important perspectives.
So this is a question for both of you, but we'll start with you first, Courtney. What do you hope results from this project?
Well, ideally that LGBTQ plus youth feel more supported and valued, and that the adults watching these videos have some actionable takeaways to make changes to the environments and practices. So, for example, forms that assume everyone is binary and either male or female. We hope that everyone who watches will feel like a bigger part of a diverse and inclusive community.
So my hopes are fairly similar. As someone who does a lot of short documentary work for nonprofits, I really hope that the projects I do will reach people who are wondering how they can help and will help those people make a difference. And I also hope that some queer youth do see this and realize that they are valued by their community and that there's a lot of adults who really want to support them because queer and trans adult role models, as many people mention in these interviews, are really important to uplifting and supporting queer youth and ensuring that they know that they have a future and that there are many different directions that they could go in life. And there are a lot of adults there who can model that and who will support them throughout that journey. So I really hope that these videos are a learning experience for people who are willing to learn, and that these videos also show people who are struggling that, you know, there are people who care about them, and there are people who really want to change the world and who really want to empower them to change the world for themselves. Essentially, I really hope that this empowers, you know, well-meaning, straight, cisgender adults to have a better idea of what they can do to support the LGBTQ community. And I hope that LGBTQ youth can feel supported and uplifted by this project and know that they belong in this community. There is space for them in this community, and that we really want to uplift them. We want their ideas to be heard, and we want the community to be a place for them to thrive.
Thanks for joining us today on A Closer Look. And thanks especially to our guests, Courtney Hillhouse and Claire Swanson.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. And to learn more about our series, visit greenpeakalliance.org and go to the media tab.